Many people have been entranced by the drama and secrets on screen during episodes of Grey's Anatomy. But there are some even more nefarious things that go on behind the scenes that most fans don't know about. We'll explore some dark secrets and scandals that you didn't know about Grey's Anatomy. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe for more information from the taco. Now, let's start the show. Isaiah Washington. Although this story is pretty terrible, many people feel that at least it had a happy ending for social justice. Actor Isaiah Washington, who played Dr. Preston Burke, was once in a heated backstage argument with co-star Patrick Dempsey, who plays Dr. Derek Shepherd. During the angry exchange, Washington called another co-star, T.R. Knight, who plays Dr. George O'Malley, a slur related to his sexuality. This unfortunate incident forced Knight to come out of the closet and created a hostile work environment between Washington and his other co-workers. At first, Washington released a typical statement about the incident, apologizing for his language and the situation that he caused. Then he backpedaled soon after, claiming that he never said such a thing. Nobody believed either of his statements, and fans were livid that Washington was allowed to continue his role on the show in light of this. Series creator Shonda Rhimes was interrogated about it and claimed that Washington was really very sorry and had definitely changed his ways. The back and forth, stories changing, and defending bigotry are sadly typical things where Hollywood is concerned. But this story ends up with Washington finally being let go from the show due to this incident. Many fans felt that it was about time. Katherine Heigl. Let's start this story off on a positive note. Katherine Heigl was one of the few people to come out and firmly call out Isaiah Washington for using slurs about T.R. Washington. The actress made it clear in no uncertain terms that it was not okay and she did not accept his apology. But besides Washington, she might just be the most hated cast member of all time on Grey's Anatomy. From the beginning, there were reports of drama and diva-like behavior occurring behind the scenes, not to mention the fact that people were continually frustrated with her limited shooting schedule, which was a result of her film career. Everyone couldn't stop complaining about Heigl, but she pulled the ultimate passive-aggressive move. Heigl withdrew her name from consideration for an Emmy Award. To make matters worse, she publicly stated that she hadn't been provided good enough material to warrant any Emmy nomination. Ouch. In light of all of this, absolutely nobody was surprised when she was written off the show. Heigl claimed at first that it was due to her scheduling conflicts, but fans weren't convinced. Creator Shonda Rhimes even used the term Heigl to refer to an exceptionally difficult person to work with. However, the whole situation did encourage Heigl to get some therapy, and she now admits that she dealt with the situation all wrong. She's apologized for her past actions and claims that she would love to return to the show at some point. T.R. Knight. It's easy to point to actors displaying diva behavior and blame them for when their acting gigs don't turn out well. But the situation with T.R. Knight caused many people to think that behind the scenes at Grey's Anatomy was just a toxic environment. We mentioned earlier that due to cruel statements made by Isaiah Washington, T.R. Knight was forced to come out of the closet at a time when he had not intended to. He claimed that there is nothing at all interesting about him being gay and that he much prefers to keep his private life private. On the surface, his co-stars and the staff behind Grey's Anatomy were supportive. Shonda Rhimes even praised his decision to come out and claimed that she and her staff would support him. But the reality on set was far different. Even though his character Dr. George O'Malley was a fan favorite, it seemed like he was getting less and less airtime. Knight even spoke to Rhimes about the situation, but it did no good. Tensions were high and relationships were strained backstage. Instead of working with Knight, the show decided to write off Dr. O'Malley in a pretty brutal way. Audiences were heartbroken and Knight left the show for good. Patrick Dempsey. It's not only female cast members who get a reputation for being divas backstage. Just look at Patrick Dempsey, who was one of the original cast members on Grey's Anatomy. Apparently, behind the scenes, nobody found his attitude to be particularly dreamy. After all of the drama with his other cast members, there were a lot of bad feelings on set, and this definitely wasn't the appropriate time to be displaying a diva attitude. There was also a serious rumor going around that Dempsey was having an affair with a much younger female staff member. Needless to say, this created a hostile situation, and Shonda Rhimes ended up placing Dempsey on temporary suspension because of his behavior. Instead of using this time to reflect on his mistakes and vow to do better, Dempsey talked a big game about how he was looking forward to moving on to the next big thing. Eventually, he was allowed to return, but the high tension and hurt feelings had only intensified with time instead of abating. It got so unbearable that Dempsey's character was eventually written off the show. Meanwhile, Dempsey's wife Gillian Fink filed for divorce after 15 years of marriage. Many wondered if Dempsey's alleged on-set affair had anything to do with the split, although the couple ultimately reconciled. Ellen Pompeo. After all of those troublesome actors were finally let go from the show, you would think that conditions would improve for those that would be left. But that's not what Ellen Pompeo, who plays Dr. Meredith Grey, says happened. After Patrick Dempsey was let go, Pompeo claims that she needed some time in order to clear her head and get over the stressful work situation. But she wasn't able to leave Grey's Anatomy behind because staff members wouldn't let her. During her much-needed vacation, she was constantly bombarded with a never-ending barrage of phone calls that got increasingly frantic. Pompeo explained that she was off the clock, but ABC execs wouldn't take no for an answer. They were desperate to fill Dempsey's shoes and felt that they needed help from Pompeo. Constantly, she received headshots of actors and messages from execs begging for her thoughts on them. She was shocked at their desperation and the fact that they felt they had to get another man on set as quickly as possible. According to Pompeo, the ink wasn't even dry on Dempsey's termination papers before they were trying to hire someone new. But at least for Pompeo, an incredibly stressful work situation paid off. She's now the highest-earning actress on a television drama. Jesse Williams. Jesse Williams, who portrayed Jackson Avery MD on Grey's Anatomy, was a star with a ton of fans. He had been married to real estate broker Aaron Drake Lee since 2012 after dating for over a decade. The couple had 2 children together, and fans were shocked when they heard that Williams and Drake Lee were getting a divorce. Even their close friends and family members were baffled by the seemingly random split and wondered just what had happened. Rumors began to circulate that Williams had engaged in an affair with actress Minka Kelly, but Williams hit back against the rumors and made it clear that he was horribly offended by these baseless allegations. He claims that he was with his children's mother for over 13 years and would never throw away their relationship by cheating. However, there is no denying that he and Minka Kelly spent a ton of time together, and it certainly looked as if the two were in some sort of relationship. Then, all of a sudden, Williams and Kelly seemed to split, just before Kelly was spotted kissing another man. Sources close to Drake Lee blame moving to Los Angeles and the lifestyle associated with the area for the split. We may never know what really happened, but it seems like his gig on Grey's was horrible for his marriage. Kate Walsh. It seems like absolutely anything out of the ordinary had the ability to cause tension and drama for the cast of Grey's Anatomy. And yes, even if something good happens. Kate Walsh seemed to be a popular cast member, and fans loved her character, Dr. Addison Montgomery. Walsh was soon offered the chance to star in a spin-off called Private Practice and leave Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. But instead of being happy for Walsh and this great opportunity, the rest of the cast was afflicted with a medical condition known as jealousy. Resentment was extremely high, as everyone else thought that they should have been the one to get their own show. Allegedly, Ellen Pompeo was particularly angered because she felt as if anyone had gotten this opportunity, it should have been her. Or at the very least, she should have been consulted on the situation before it happened. Many fans hoped that someday Walsh would return to Grey's Anatomy, but it seems as if there are too many bad feelings for that to ever happen. Walsh says that she feels as if her character has been fully explored and that she's finally been put to rest. Brooke Smith. Being gay on the set of Grey's Anatomy was apparently a career liability, but apparently portraying a gay character wasn't any safer. Brooke Smith portrayed Dr. Erica Hahn, who was in a romantic relationship with fellow female character Dr. Callie Torres. They were the show's first ongoing gay couple, and many fans felt that this was a huge step forward in the right direction. But apparently, it was too much for the show executives to handle. Reportedly, they had issues with the on-screen lesbian relationship. Since the show had so many hetero hookups, it seems especially ridiculous that a little bit of lady love could be so controversial. Not only did they write Smith off the show, they did so in a way she found insulting. They told Smith that they couldn't write Dr. Hahn anymore, then simply had her walk out to her car and never return. Smith felt that Dr. Hahn at least deserved a brutal ending like so many of her former castmates got. Shonda Rhimes defended the ABC exec's decision and claimed that Smith wasn't let go simply for portraying a gay character. She said that the producers simply couldn't find magic and chemistry when it came to the character Dr. Hahn. Shonda Rhimes. One trend you've likely noticed by now is that showrunner Shonda Rhimes is involved in every bit of the drama that goes on behind the scenes of Grey's Anatomy. It seems like her word is law on set, but that's not the case. Even Rhimes doesn't get whatever she wants, and some of the depraved things she's suggested might shock you. One time, Rhimes had a great idea for an episode involving Dr. Christina Yang, played by Sandra Oh, and Dr. Alex Karev, played by Justin Chambers. The two doctors would place a bet to see which of them could deliver more devastating news to patients within the shortest amount of time. Apparently, writing about lesbian relationships is too difficult, but this sort of twisted game is totally fine. ABC execs were horrified, and Rhimes claims that some of them called her sick based on her idea. The episode ended up on the cutting room floor, and Rhimes says that she was quite surprised about the whole situation. Reportedly, tensions were incredibly high between Rhimes and ABC execs. This includes Steve McPherson, who was the president of ABC at the time. According to Rhimes, he would say horrible things to her, and then she even counted how often he would cuss at her regarding her ideas. Sarah Drew. While she doesn't claim to have issues with any of her co-stars, there is one thing that Sarah Drew, who plays April Kepner, can't stand about filming Grey's Anatomy. Naturally, there are a lot of surgeries and other medical procedures on the show, and they need to look real. The show keeps a registered nurse on hand just to make sure everything is accurate. According to Patrick Dempsey, everyone loved working with the nurse and respected her medical opinion on different situations. But they still need a way to recreate realistic-looking medical situations. How do they do it? According to Drew, they use actual cow organs, and if you see them soldering flesh on screen, they're using a real soldering tool, and it creates a smell that is far from pleasant. Drew admits that the odor makes her gag and is coupled with red jello, cow blood, and chicken fat, just to make the whole situation more disgusting. Being an actress seems like a glamorous job, but we don't often picture actors elbow deep in chicken fat and jello. It's almost not surprising that cast members are in notoriously bad moods during filming. What do you think about the secrets behind Grey's Anatomy? Tell us what you think about the show in the comments section. Then click subscribe for more from the taco. We'll see you next time.